Okay, but let's get started. The first team to pitch on the stage today is the city of Oulu. And a big round of applause.
Simo. Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am Rizal, representing our team Finland of Opportunities. Let me begin our presentation by telling you a short story. Something huge is happening globally. The penguin is forced to leave his home sweet home in Antarctica. He went from one place to another, risking his life, searching for a safer and better place for him and his family. And here he is now in Finland, welcomed by this kind-hearted polar bear. The penguin doesn't speak the language of the polar bear, neither understand the culture, but he is willing to learn and contribute. This will be a good bedtime story, but it is not a bedtime story. It is a metaphor to describe the challenge that we are dealing in our project. Together with our partners, the city of Oulu, and Oulun aikuislukio, Oulu Upper Secondary School, we are searching for solutions to integrate immigrant students into Finnish working life. This is a huge theme. In order to understand, we approach the subjects from two perspectives, involving schools and the companies. We held several interviews, series of meetings. We met teachers, we interviewed immigrant students themselves, and also, on the company sides, we interviewed companies that are supportive to the idea, as well as those who have several concerns. Not to mention people on the street, students, teenagers, in order to understand better about the situation. And from the extensive process, there are some findings and recommendations that we would like to bring forward. First, most of the discussions revolve around technical concerns, mainly about language proficiency, as well as the knowledge competency. These have not come to us as a surprise, and we believe there are many solutions that can be utilized to overcome the challenge. So here are some of our recommendations. First, on top of the excellent education our partner is providing to the immigrant students, there will be some introductory courses, for example, introduction to Finnish business culture, and etc. That will be the first recommendation. The second one, we are proposing an enhancements model of TED. For those who do not know TED, TED is a period where Finnish students go to companies to experience working life hands-on. So instead of participating as individuals, we would like to recommend them to be in pair. Finnish students and immigrant students, they will go and they will create a reciprocal interaction among themselves. And this point is validated because many companies express their willingness to accept more immigrant students if this model comes into practice. The third recommendation is working life simulation with Yrityskylä. Yrityskylä is an innovative miniature city where 6th graders and 9th graders Finnish students go to simulate working life experience at that place. We went and visited Yrityskylä, and they are more than happy to extend the practice to immigrant students. And this project, if it's the pilot project, if it works, then it will be easily replicated throughout Finland and will help us to achieve the objective. And last but not least, on this site, we want to see the schools to continue their cooperation with so many people who are working to the same objective, like Startup Refugee, Red Cross, and more. Okay. On the other hand, there is also another challenge, which is the cultural concerns. This is a very delicate and sensitive issue, but we sum up everything under one major theme, and that is mindset change. And this will begin by changing the way we perceive immigrants from just a bunch of people into individuals who have specific talent, knowledge, skill and potentials. And this will also require a more systematic encouragement to encourage companies to have some incentives and many different ways to encourage companies to participate more in this process. And also, at the same time, by enabling those environments, it will help immigrant students to bring significant added value, not only to the company, but to the society as a whole. And this will also require a continuous campaign from government and the public. The solution of our project is not one single tangible solution, but it's a bunch of recommendations that require we all together to work hand in hand, together with Oulun aikuislukio and the city of Oulu. And I believe that our recommendations will create more projects for Demola in the near future. And also, by making this project into success, hopefully the polar bear and the penguin will live happily ever after. And why is that? Because in this project, we are empowering global talents. Thank you for listening. All feedbacks are welcome. And for Q&A session, I would like to invite members of my team and the partners perhaps to join me on the stage. Very quickly, probably. No problem. Yes, thank you. So nervous.
Okay, so half of the crowd now. Okay, I have to reconsider my comments. No, nice work. Starting from the severe problem, huge challenge, not only a Finnish one, challenge, kind of global challenge. I think everything that can be done for this is valuable. And as a comment on your presentation and this, I like storytelling myself, and it's nice how you kept it all together. So it's really easy to follow from the problem. I don't know whether it needed to bring wind and the polar bear, but in Oulu you have to have polar bear everywhere. So, you know. But then you moved on like the findings so smoothly, so it was really easy to follow and like nod your head. And now it remains to be seen, like in practical terms, what would be the first steps. You present a lot of kind of ideas, packages to move on in two different categories, like perhaps I leave my colleagues to comment on this, but I would love to see a kind of a order or ranking, like where to move on next and after that and so on, because I felt that there must be some sort of order of things to be done in this list. I just pass on. So there is no question there, it's just a comment.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. It was so super clear with the polar bear story and the penguin there. But I also noticed that you haven't any list there what will be the next steps. Like, I loved doing to-do lists and everything, so it would be super nice to see like what are you planning to do as a first thing. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was a really nice, really clearly structured presentation. I especially like the part that you mentioned, the collaboration, because it's always like that, you know. There's so many projects, you know, going on around in different parts of the country, and just bringing them all together and just this synergy can really create like an immense value. So I think, yeah, that could be continued. That'd be great. So thanks.
Right, so thank you. You had a very charming, very relaxed presentation. So thank you for that. And I agree, you managed to outline the actual problems very well. But just like some of the others, the judges, I think, when you said it yourself that you're not presenting like one single tangible solution to these things, I immediately went like, oh, I really wished he had. because that's the one thing I would have loved to hear. For a bit of context, actually, I'd like to ask, what was the original assignment? What was the problem you were solving in this case, originally?
Yes, we were given the task to find a better way to help immigrant students in Oulun aikuislukio to get places for internship for the TED program. That is the most basic where we begin with. So in order to answer that need, we investigated, and it appeared that TED was only tip of the iceberg. It involves a very systemic kind of situation, and that is why we skip many of the details, especially on the practical sides, because we need to make the whole thing visible and understandable to the audience.
Right, thank you.
The next team to present is